Yes, it's time again for another Quest update. Version 31 just started rolling out, and I wasn't really excited about the update until I started messing around with some of the new features, and I realized just how revolutionary some of them are going to be. Let's go ahead and talk about what's coming in version 31 on the Quest platform right now. All right, first of all, let me get one thing out of the way. According to Oculus, version 31 is going to fix some of those Airlink link issues with crashing. Fingers crossed that happens, because I have had on and off issues. It's not been a constant thing for me, but it has happened quite a bit where it just drops connection and link just stops working altogether. So hopefully this is going to actually fix that issue. Speaking of Airlink, let's talk about those updates really quickly before we get into the other really exciting multiplayer stuff. Version 31 brings improved dynamic bitrate to reduce the occurrences of stalls and high latency, which also improves visual quality. So that's essentially just improving the dynamic bitrate that Link uses, or Airlink, I should say. It also is adding the ability to access the Oculus menu during a connection timeout. So if you're getting the 3-dot screen, you should be able to push the Oculus button and open up the menu. They've also fixed some issues with AMD drivers that would cause crashing when running Link and Airlink. Okay, so that's the technical stuff out of the way for Airlink. Now let's talk about the exciting stuff. Like I said, I wasn't super thrilled about this update until I started actually using it and digging deeper. And the biggest thing for me is the invitation to games and the invite links. Now, if you're not a multiplayer player, this might not seem like a big deal, but if you are, then you know how annoying it can be to hook up with friends inside of virtual reality unless you can share a room code or the game itself has it well implemented. Well, moving forward, Oculus is allowing developers to use a new invite to game feature. It says, we've created multiplayer APIs for developers to use with their apps. For any app that opts into this feature, you'll be able to invite friends or people you've recently played with to your game session directly from the Quest universal menu. You'll be notified when your friend takes action based on your invite, which is great because we never had that before. When you're invited to join someone through this method, you'll receive a notification with info about who sent the invite and what app you're being invited to. Now, when I did Larcenauts with some of the other YouTube creators, we ran into an issue with this because it refused to pop up every time we invited someone. You actually had to go out to the Quest main menu and look at your notifications to see that. This is going to be a pop-up screen that pops up when you're invited. It also says you can now view and manage the group of people you're playing together with right from the universal menu without leaving the app or experience you're currently in. A lot of interesting stuff there for multiplayer invites to games. I think it's going to be great, especially considering it's been broken for a while and just hasn't really worked very well. So this could be a big bonus for those looking to invite people for multiplayer while in VR. Now, the next key, though, for me, especially for people like my dad or people that I play with sometimes that aren't super experienced in the Quest or using virtual reality or really technology at all, or just anybody for ease of use, the invite link is a big deal. Now, I wasn't sure how big a deal until I actually went into the application on my mobile device and started using it, and it actually is very intuitive, and I tested it, and it actually works really well inviting people and jumping into the headset. So what you do is you actually go into the Oculus application, you click on the social tab down at the bottom, then you'll see a button that says create link. You're just going to hit create link. It'll then ask you to select an application. Once you've done that, you can see all of the supported applications in your library that you've used recently, or you can sort by different things, whether it's A to Z, comfort, what have you. As soon as you find the application you want to play, you tap on that application, and then it'll say destination. You select a destination by clicking on that spot, and you can choose a destination where you want to meet up. Now, the beauty of this, depending on the game, is not having to worry about trying to gather everyone into the same place. You can all end up in the exact same spot, everyone that uses this link. So you can pick where you want to go, and then it'll actually create it for you once you hit the create link button at the bottom, and it'll show you the link, allow you to share it. You can launch it on your own device by hitting the launch button and choosing the device that you want it to launch on. And you can also delete it by hitting the 3 dots up at the top. There's also information in the about section. It'll tell you who the link was created by, when the link expires, and how many players are able to play in this game. When you send this link to someone, all they do is click on the link. It'll then launch the Oculus website if they're on PC, or the application if they're on their mobile device. Then all they've got to do is hit launch, choose the device that they want to use to play the game. Then all they have to do is put on the headset and it'll automatically launch without clicking anything into the experience to the proper lobby or whatever area of the game you chose. Now, it does take a second to actually do that, so once you put the headset on, just give it a minute, or I'm not sure exactly how long. There's no specific time that it actually takes, but it will launch you directly into that application as long as the application is installed for that person. That makes things so much easier. So say I want to do Topgolf. We can invite somebody into Topgolf by clicking the Create Link button, selecting the application. So we're going to click Topgolf with ProPutt. Then for our destination, we're going to go and we're going to click a Topgolf Bay Private. So we're going to hit that. We're going to say Create Link, and then we're going to share this link by hitting the Share button. Then I'm going to hit launch on and then it says Topgolf with ProPutt is open on your headset. You just tap OK, and then as soon as you do that, the next time you put on your headset, it'll actually launch inside the headset and send you both to that same bay to hang out and play, or whatever game that you want to play. That to me is ultra exciting, and it makes multiplayer that much easier. Let's move on to the next few pieces of this update now that I've spent enough time on the multiplayer aspect of it. They've also added some additional improvements to Messenger. You can now send reactions to messages in VR, similar to how you would on a mobile device, and you can now see the status of the messages that you send, or send receipts, as well as read receipts once they've been read, which is always good, at least for the person sending them, not necessarily for the person that's receiving them if they don't want to be seen. Also an update, USB-C audio is now usable for Quest 2. So you can actually use USB-C headphones with your Quest 2. There is a specific list of USB-C headphones and adapters that actually work, and I'll link to that in the description. It does say that if both the 3.5mm and USB-C headphones are plugged in, then the audio will play on the 3.5mm headphones, so you don't have to worry about something being plugged into the USB-C headphone jack and affecting your audio because it thinks that it's a set of headphones. Also, Universal Menu has been updated. They've made the library settings, notifications, and other menus larger for improved ease of use. We've also got some security settings that have been added. They've changed things and added a specific security settings page in the headset, which allows you to reset your unlock pattern and also access other security settings. And now you can actually save passwords on your Oculus browser. Apparently the passwords are encrypted and kept locally on the headset. You can remove them at any time. Plus, one big thing not actually mentioned in the update notes that Mark Zuckerberg mentioned on Facebook the other day when he posted about this update is that they're actually giving developers access to the pass-through API experimental build so that they can actually use that to test and build mixed reality experiences. What exactly does that mean? It means that they're giving developers the ability to utilize the pass-through mode on the Quest and the Quest 2. Now, yes, it is black and white, and it's not super high resolution, but it's a start in the right direction. There's still some cool things that maybe they could figure out to do, but really for me, what it gets me excited for is the future of these headsets. As the developers start to work with pass-through and see what can be done for mixed reality, then it might be possible in future headsets to actually utilize that even more as resolution increases to an HD resolution and we get color pass-through. Now, I know it's still early. They're just going to be getting access soon, and the cameras and the resolution and all that stuff on the Quest and the Quest 2 are just not up to snuff when it comes to doing full-on experiences, but it's a step in the right direction, and I think it's an awesome direction to go because as technology gets better, it just means that developers can already be ready with something cool to experience with the pass-through on these devices. There you go. Those are the updates that are coming in version 31, or maybe they've already come to your headset. A lot of people have already started to get the update. What do you think so far about the features coming in version 31? It may not be a mind-blowing update or an insane update or whatever other word you want to use to describe it, but I think it could be a revolutionary update when it comes to multiplayer and the ease of being able to jump into games with other people. When it comes down to it, a lot of people use the Quest platform to play with other people, whether it's friends, families, people that you don't know, whoever it is. The easier it is to use and jump into games, the better, and the link that you can create using the Oculus app, I think, is going to make it way easier, especially with people that don't necessarily know how to navigate all of the ins and the outs of the Quest. So now I can send a link to my dad if I want to bowl with him, golf with him, or jump into Onward or whatever. Once that's supported, then you can do that super easy without even having to explain on the phone like I've done in the past, because they're just not used to using the platform. Really makes it easy to use. Ease of use for me is key, as I think that it allows for a much larger adoption when the barriers start to lower and everything just becomes more simple. Plus, it just saves time, and who doesn't want to save some time trying to mess around with getting a notification in VR or sending a notification to someone or whatever it takes to get into a game together. That, and I'm excited for the fact that developers now get access to the pass-through API. I'm very curious to see what people use it for. If they use it already with the black and white and the lower resolution cameras, or if they're going to wait and use it later on once we get a more HD color picture. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see, but I want to know what you think. Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are on V31 and if you're going to use any of these new features. Plus, if you want to get the most out of your Quest and your Quest 2, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications. And you can check out more of my videos right over there. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and happy questing.